Hi folks, Barry here from Make It So Adult Fitness in Long Beach, talking today about Tai Chi, or at least an abbreviated version of Tai Chi. And this will be similar to what I do with my clients, especially those who have balance issues when we're working together in the gym. So this will be a very familiar program for many of you, and for some of you it'll be an introduction to Tai Chi. If you'll recall from an earlier email I sent out, I talked about sitting being called the new smoking because of all the health risks that are associated with prolonged periods of sitting, and especially as we're now in coronavirus lock-in mode, we're spending even more time sitting. I do it too, so I know if I'm doing it, I know you're doing it too. But it's not a good thing. In that email, I mentioned that a personal hero of mine is Professor Len Kravitz from the University of New Mexico. I pay a lot of attention to his research and to his writings. And I'm presently taking a course from him, or a course that he authored on energy metabolism. Kravitz advocates for every 30 minutes that you're sitting, you should stand up and move for 3 minutes. I talked about doing the hokey pokey for those 3 minutes. I didn't get a lot of positive feedback about hokey pokey, though I will tell you it's a fun thing to do. So if you don't want to do hokey pokey, let's do some basic Tai Chi movements. There's 5 different families of Tai Chi, just like there's multiple disciplines of yoga. For Tai Chi, it's an ancient Chinese, it's actually a martial art, and there's 104 different movements. If you're a student of Tai Chi, you would be studying very expansively. But like yoga, if you're just incorporating some moves into your overall fitness program, then there's not that many you need to know. So today, we'll focus on the same 4 that I do with my balance training clients in the gym. But again, you can do this as for your 3 minutes of standing for every 30 minutes of sitting. As I said, Tai Chi is an ancient Chinese form of martial arts. It's noted for its very slow, smooth, rhythmic movements. The reason that it's so good for balance, every movement has you kind of shifting your weight like from forward to back, while doing something different with your arms. So you have the weight of your arms plus moving like this through different movements. If you're doing this because you have a balance deficit, and you and I haven't discussed this in a live discussion, I want to point out to you that you should not do anything that you feel is unsafe. If you feel, and we'll do some rehearsal moves before we get into the 4 movements that you're going to repeat. If you feel uneasy while you're doing these, again, I'm not with you now to observe what you're doing. So if you feel in doing these movements or doing the rehearsal basic parts of the movements that you may not be able to sustain an upright and controlled posture, please don't do it. The basis for these 4 is going to be almost the same with your lower body for each one. And that's going to be kind of stepping forward and leaning forward, and then leaning back. And as I lean back, I'm going to raise my foot and lean back, and then I'm going to come forward. Then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to lean forward, I'm going to lean back and raise my foot. And raise my foot. And raise my foot. Okay? In a Tai Chi class, you typically do more than 4 movements. And you usually do maybe 4 or 5 repetitions of each movement. Because we're only going to do 4, we're going to do 10 repetitions of each one, and we're going to do the same 10 on one side and then on the other side. So let's start by just practicing, and you do this with me now. So let's just practice what we're going to do with the lower body. So step forward, and we're mirror images, by the way. So when you see my left leg forward, you're looking at me like in the mirror, so you're putting your right leg forward. So again, we're mirror images. So lean forward, both feet are flat. Now lean back and raise the front part of your forward foot. And let's do that 5 times. Again, this is just a rehearsal that we're doing together to get that basic rhythmic movement. Let your breathing just be relaxed. I like to exhale going forward, inhale, coming back. This is not one of those breathe in deep, exhale deep. It's just normal, controlled, rhythmic breathing. Now let's move to the other side. Forward, back, raise your foot. Raise your foot. Raise your foot. Let's do that 2 more times. 1. Good. So if you feel stable, you don't feel like you're going to fall doing that, then it's okay to progress to the next level, which now we're going to actually do the 4 different Tai Chi moves. So again, the part with the legs, with almost all of them, is going to be exactly the same. What will be different is what we do up top with the arms. So the first, and these all have names just like you do in Pilates, just like you do in yoga. I'm not making up these names. I inherited them from other people. So the first is called calming the waters, or calming the waters of your heart. So let's start by putting both hands, imagine there's a table right here. Put your hands right here on the table. Step forward. I'm stepping forward with my left. With you, it's going to be your right. Lean forward and calm the waters. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Put your hands back on the table. Let's do the same thing the other side. Now I'm stepping forward with my right, which will be your left. Again, calm the waters. And back, raise your foot. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hands back on the table. Keep pushing water. Turn your wrist like this so that the palms on both hands are facing the same way. Step out. Remember this, what we're doing with the lower body is the same thing that you've just been doing. Step forward, push the water, rotate your wrist and pull it back the other way. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hands on the table. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Hands on the table. Step out. Rotate your wrists. Push. Rotate. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hands on the table. Okay, next, ball over the drum. Imagine there's a barrel or a drum right here. We're going to take our hands, we're going to go over the drum. Okay, so put your hands about head width apart. The hands right here, about chest high. Okay, step, go over the drum and lean back. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hands on the table. Same thing the other side. Hands head width apart. Step and go over the drum. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hands on the table. Okay, ball in the mountain. Start with our hands down here. Step, lean forward, open and back. Open and back. Open and back. And back. Back. Open and back. Last one, other side. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so those are the 4 moves that we'll do today. If you like Tai Chi, I'd like to hear from you. If you're interested, I'll keep adding new movements to it, but if we just keep practicing those 4, and remember, when the commercial comes on or after 30 minutes of watching TV, get up and do those 4 moves. Okay? So that's a beginner's version of Tai Chi. My time is up, and I thank you for yours.